The environmental movement. You've probably heard of it all across the media. Climate change, pollution, environmental degradation, resource depletion, biodiversity, and deforestation are all problems that the environmental movement calls to action. Environmental issues have been ignored throughout the history of the United States. However, beginning with the work of John Muir, American awareness began to spread to those issues and change began to occur. His actions influenced presidents such as Theodore Roosevelt to take urgency towards supporting environmental policies and regulations. In 1970, later U.S. President Richard Nixon established the United States Environmental Protection Agency to enforce national regulations regarding the environment. Majority of U.S. presidents have chosen to ignore or push aside environmental concerns, but presidents like Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, and Jimmy Carter made efforts to address these issues.
In the 50s or so, 1950s, we got really interested in convenience. Because we figured out how to make plastics cheaply and easily, we produced a lot of it. And I think that was really kind of a turning point.
However, it is not all types of plastic that are the issue.
The big problem came when we decided to create single-use plastics. That's the problem because of the volume at which we churn it out.
Single-use plastics plague the environment. They are often only used for a minute to 10 minutes and then cannot be used again.
So examples of that might be a plastic straw. You know, you go to a restaurant, you stick a straw in your drink, you might use it for 10 minutes, and then it gets thrown away.
Through modern-day uses of technology and social media, people have been able to easily spread awareness on all kinds of environmental concerns. Especially now with the pandemic, connecting with others about these concerns has been altered.
What's happened in the era of COVID is that we've gone exactly the other way. We're increasing the amount of single-use plastic, not decreasing it.
Social media has allowed people to connect and organize themselves beyond the barriers of borders, language, and distance. The increase in connectivity between people all over the world has subsequently brought along a group that is much more educated on current issues. On a smaller scale, social media has brought communities together for protests or small organizations that work to fight climate change and heavy pollution in cities. With the rise of activism in younger generations, more and more has been done to ensure that the Earth remains hospitable for the generations to come. It is constantly being pushed that there isn't much we can do about the state of the environment, but that just isn't true.
We've got the technology, we know how to do it. I think we even have the money.
We have all the resources we need to save our environment. All that's left is for the public to be properly educated of the issues and for a change in policies. 194 countries have signed the Paris Agreement, an international treaty that was designed to fight the growing amount of greenhouse gases that are entering the atmosphere. Recently, the US has pulled out of this agreement.
When the United States pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord, that put climate change in the news.
There is a clear increase in awareness of the problems surrounding the environment, but there also needs to be an increase in action.
If we don't act, it gets worse. And the question is, how much worse?
There are several things the average person can do to help. Something as small as picking up a piece of trash or using reusable water bottles can make a difference. We have the opportunity to make Earth a cleaner and safer place. Why wouldn't we take it?